Well, let me tell you all a story about a man named Stu. He's been working on radios for me and you. He can fix 'em, he can tune 'em, he can do most anything. Send your rig to Stu, he's the radio king. Check him out on YouTube, you can watch him hard at work. Seeing him do repairs is just another perk. 30 years at the craft, he really knows his stuff. He never met a job that was ever too tough. DXRadioShopNY.com, Clyde, New York.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing here at the DX Radio Shop? Everybody out there, have a great day for Thursday. Be our morning check-in right now. If anybody wants to check in, feel free to do so as well. Good morning, Leadfoot. Good morning, Mr. Matt. Good morning, Michael. Everybody's on board. I like that.
And Tim.
Hope everybody's going to have a wonderful day today. It's supposed to be a decent temperature here for us anyway. It's not too bad. We'll see what the day brings, as they say. I suppose. But, meantime.
Morning, Professor.
Good morning. How we doing? I don't know about the professor part, but I'm here. There you go. Yeah, I bet you would. Okay, so I don't know what we got going on here today. I know we're still working on Michael's radio. I got to push off to the side for a moment. We had a receive problem with that, but we seem to be getting more of it back. We worked on it late last night. We got about 40% of the receiver back. We only had about 20. And so we've got a little bit more coming out of it, which is nice. Just old age parts, that's all. Really is what it comes down to. So. Okay, so this morning's topic, I'd like to be able to discuss about a Baofeng. So we all know these are VHF, UHF radios. There's something interesting that I learned about this recently and I wanted to share with everybody. Let's take the antenna off for a moment. Does anybody have an idea? Let me switch cameras here. This is very interesting, really, to say the least. So this radio, we want to know, do you ever guys realize there's 4 you've got 4 open slots on that nut. to hold this jack in place. Did you guys know if you pull the volume on and off knob off, this is designed 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 tabs to do exactly that. It goes right into place like this, and then you can actually loosen that nut. Okay? So I just want to kind of give everybody a heads up, something I kind of discovered yesterday. Something new that I had learned about these radios I did not know. So if you think you need a tool of some sort, you really don't. You just have to use the knob itself. Then we just put this back on where it belongs. Get the half moon shank that goes in just like this. Boom, done. Okay? So, take your knob off, the bow thing, and you can loosen the nut here if this jack were to go bad and you had to replace that, but you didn't have a tool to interlock the 4 slots. That's what this knob is for. Nowhere's in the instructions do they tell you this on the owner's manual. Nowhere's. But it's got the 4 tabs from here, and that was confirmed exactly what this was for when I checked it out. I did not know that, so this is something new that I learned here recently. And that's exactly what this knob is supposed to do. It's supposed to be your on and off volume, but you take the knob off, that is supposed to unlock this nut if you ever replace that because it went bad.
Good morning, Jim.
Okay? So that's kind of my little hot topic this morning I wanted to share with everybody. Very interesting, I would say. Very interesting. Who would ever thought to use a plastic knob to do exactly that? When everybody would probably would be out using a screwdriver, a pair of pliers to loosen that out. Who would ever thought something like this? Okay. So I wanted to share with everybody this morning. I think that'd be great to, information if you're out and about and you have an adapter or something went wrong or whatever the case may be. That's why I use what we call a stress relief cable. And a stress relief cable can come in any size. I prefer to use a longer one, so that keeps the stress off of this jack. You don't want an adapter right there at the jack. So in order to avoid that, now you've got a stress relief adapter. You can put right in here like this, the cable. And you got your SO239. And they come in different lengths. This one here is quite long. This is the 3-footer. So if you want to kind of keep it more distance, you can. Now it's not so much you taking we'll say, for example, you don't want to use this antenna, but you want to use like a base antenna or a portable antenna on a tripod or whatever you want to do, some kind of homebrew thing or something that commercially you bought. This is good for a couple different reasons. One, you keep this away from the radio. So again, it's not this tight adapter with coax flexing back and forth every time you want to move your walkie-talkie. So you have a less stress effect by using it like this. Take this out, plug them on in, and away you go. So I would recommend at least a 3-foot minimum for that reason, to keep the stress off of the jack, let the cable do what it's designed to do, then you can put your antenna, external antenna to this point and go from there. And you can get these any lengths that you want. You can make them yourself if you wish. This one I had bought. I don't make these at all, but you can buy these any length that you want. So they sure work great, no doubt. So, but love you, buddy. Have a great day. So yeah, these are excellent cables, stress relief cables to use for sure, and they work great with any HT, whether you have a male or female end, doesn't really matter. Just find out what you've got. In this case here, we know we got to have this style to go inside here, like so, to thread out. Okay. Some of them are reversed. Some of them you have to go the other way. You have the collar on the outside to go over. So it all kind of just depends on what your HT is and what it takes at that point. Then you kind of go from there. Okay. Very good. So that would be my hot topic for this morning. If anybody has any questions, drop in the comments. And I would like to also, I did put up a post. I see many people have read that, and I appreciate it. And like I say, you can't have anything go unnoticed. So it's always important to share a huge thank you to everybody for the support with the channel, because the more you guys watch and subscribe, the more we can give to you. And that's just the nature of the beast. kind of like walking into a store. You know, the more people walk in and buy their product, then the more advertisement you get, the more you're going to stay in business, and the more information you get on top of that. So the same thing kind of runs hand to hand, right? So, but I do want to put a very special thanks out to the list of names that you can find on the post, a commercial or a community post on my YouTube channel, of all the ones who have made contributions throughout the year and whatnot. So I really appreciate all of you as well, along with everybody who has subscribed, or just the ones who even want to view and don't subscribe. That's cool too. But again, you know, with all the support out there, with people who are attached to my channel and come here all the time, many thanks to you and all, because like I said, it's very important when you guys share, like, subscribe, thumbs up, and whatnot. Then you know, it shows a great deal of support, a good team of the community out there who enjoys what I do, the knowledge I can give to you. There's not a lot of people who can give you, you know, good knowledge or true knowledge that just kind of peek and tweak and move on. We all know we don't do that here. We have to go through and unengineer all their, you know, what we call reverse engineering of all the mods and all the crap, and get right down to fix all the problems. So that's what we do here, which is why our channel has grown so rapidly, because of all the information that we are able to share with everybody. And a lot of guys say that some of the information is secretive. It's a CB radio. There's nothing secretive about a CB radio. So any information that you guys need or want, I will be more than happy to find that if I don't already have it and share it with you for free. That's just the way it's supposed to be. So, Denny, how are you? Good morning, Slinger. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, 142. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, James out of PA. Good morning, Leadfoot. So, and what was the other thing I wanted to bring up? Oh, yes, I forgot about this. So I had an interesting comment on one of my videos of the Cobra 29 I did yesterday, and it was quite funny. So the comment went as this, and I wasn't going to say nothing, but I got to bring it up. This gentleman wrote, posted a comment on the video stating, "Why do shops use spectrum analyzers? Is it just to make them think like they look like they're smart? Is it just to draw in business because they think they see a couple of wavy lines on the screen?" Well, here's a short answer to that. People who have a spectrum analyzer have the knowledge to use, well, most of us have the knowledge to use them. Some of them just have them because they don't know how to use them, and they do exactly what you're describing, trying to draw in business because they think they got fancy equipment, so the guy must be good like the one in New Hampshire. However, thank you, Mr. Leadfoot. Appreciate that, no doubt. Nice contribution from Mr. Leadfoot. Appreciate it. And so the ones who have a spectrum analyzer are generally, because they know what they are doing, they can show their work. So, having said so, let's see what we got going on here. All right, there we go. So, yeah, having said so, I mean, the ones who do have one are the ones who know how to use them. I have seen a few who have them and really don't know how to use them. They don't quite understand. They're being coached over the phone, and they're a puppet. So, and there's a few of them that I could list right now, but there's like maybe 4 or 5 in the country who have a spectrum analyzer and don't know how to use them. There's not many people who actually have those because, one, they're very expensive, and two, nobody wants them because they figure they can see everything with an oscilloscope. Well, I'll give an example. Let's say you got an RF problem and you can't see any wattage coming out on your scope or your watt meter. Well, you can see that with a spectrum analyzer if you know how to use the machine. But the guy put down, he says, why is it people think that they got to do this? Why is it people think they got to do that? And it's very important that if you have a spectrum analyzer, you can do a lot with a spectrum analyzer. It's not so much radios. You can do a lot with radios. You can do a lot with low pass filter boards. You can do a lot with power supplies. You can utilize that thing for anything you want to utilize it for. You can use it for automotive if you wanted. If you're trying to trace down certain things electrically or this, that, and the other with trying to find a signal or a pinging noise, you can trace that with a spectrum analyzer. So there's a lot you could do with a spectrum analyzer, not just more for radio repair, which is what we use it for. So, Michael, appreciate that. Very good. Good morning to you, sir. Mr. Leadfoot, Mr. Michael, making contributions already this morning. I appreciate that, no doubt. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's very important to understand your test equipment. It's very important to know how to use it. If you're not sure, Google is your friend. Get on and look. Ask somebody who has one. Watch the videos. Look for someone who can be an Elmer to you, a mentor. There's a lot of people who are be willing to teach. I've had a lot of shops call, ask questions, and they would play it off like they weren't a shop, but I would ask questions. Because when generally someone asks me a question, and I probably shouldn't say this because now it's probably gonna, it's gonna be out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag, we'll say. But I'm gonna say it anyways. So anybody who wants to continue making phone calls, don't stop. I'm here to help you. Okay. So when I say this, don't take this the wrong way. But when somebody asks me a question about test equipment, I'll ask questions back. They're not prepared for that. They are only thinking like, okay, he's going to say yes or no, or give me an answer. And the short end of that is no. So I will ask questions back. And then that generally tells me if you are a shop, whether you are a beginning or a long time tech, or maybe you've been into it for a while but not quite sure how to use certain things because you kind of get new to more test equipment to kind of enhance what you've got going on or help your business. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. There's no wrong reason for it. So I'll help a lot of people, and they'll ask questions, and I'll ask questions back. And by the end of the conversation, then we're all pretty much on the same page. And if I can help somebody out, I'll definitely help them out. So we've made many good shops across the country. I think we're up to, I just saw this the other day too. Where did I just write that down? Okay, yeah, right here. So we've got currently right now 42 shops across the country who are legit that I've made friends with, and they've reached out to me, or I've reached out to them one point in time or another when I had to order a part, or I couldn't find a radio through my distributor, but I found somebody who had one for sale who was a shop. So I've reached out to people at times for that. Generally for technical questions, not likely. There are like a very few, 3 or 4 people I'll reach out to for that aspect of things. If I'm stuck on something, if I came across something I'm not sure about, I'm only human like everybody else, but I do ask for help. I'll call up engineers, this, that, and the other. I got a lot of good friends. I got a lot of good friends in high places that are very knowledgeable that I can lean on to if I ever need to. But I've got a lot of shops that reach out and do the same, and they'll call and ask for help. And I mean, at least once a week, if not sometimes twice, there's like 2 shops that constantly call. And that's not a bad thing, so don't think it like it is. And I know they watch my videos, so it's not a bad thing, guys, okay? But, so for Greg and Richie, you guys are good people, along with the other, many good shops too. You guys are doing great. So, but they've been into it for a while. One's over 20 years into it. One's about, a little over 40, a little bit more than I have. And, but they've never used spectrum analyzers. And they've never used other digital aspects of different things. So they've never built RF samplers. They've never built different gizmos and test equipment they can utilize for themselves. So they've reached out and watched some of my videos and called me up. And great people, nice people. They're very good techs, and they know what they are doing. One's in Tennessee, and one's down in Kentucky. And so they do great. So yeah, if you guys need any help, don't be bashful. Call. If you don't want to call me, call somebody else. But don't think like you got to call another shop. Like, oh God, if I call this shop, he's gonna think that I don't know what I'm doing. That's not true. Okay. I mean, if you need help, get the help you can have. That only makes you better. I'll always ask for help too. That just makes my shop better because, any person who's willing to put themselves out front and ask for help is a real person. And I'll put it to you like this: how many times have people actually heard? Wives or just women talk about how come men never want to pull over and ask for directions because they think they gotta know everything, right? Hell, I've pulled over several times. I've pulled over and seen a cop on the side of the road say, "Hey, don't laugh at me, but I'm a little lost, man. I'm looking for this. I'm in the area, but I can't quite get where I gotta go. I don't know the area, so can you help me out?" And he just looks, "Sure, no problem." So that makes you a better person when you're willing to ask for help. Don't ever think like you're the god, the king, and you know it all. Don't do that because you become your own cloudy mind, your own enemy, and you'll never succeed in any career whatsoever, whether it be electronics or cosmetics or engineering or it would be aviation or nursing or whatever you want to get into. It doesn't matter what the career is. Always ask for help. So, anyways, enough of that. So, I just want to put this out there very quickly. So, for the one who made that post, I find that quite funny. And I guess my question would be is this: if you're willing to put a comment down about a spectrum analyzer and make that kind of rude comment, here would be my question. Let's see you use a spectrum analyzer and explain how to use it and put it to the test. When you can show that, I will gladly take your comment, which is still there on my page, and I will post it for everyone to see. Let's see you post your video, show us a video link of you using your spectrum analyzer, and then I will gladly share your little comment post I just read out to everybody, because when you want to just post things because you want to be a little badass, well, sorry, it's not going to happen. So if you got proof in the pudding and whatever, then go for it. But see, here's the thing. He's not going to post nothing, and I'll tell you why. Because anyone's going to make a stupid comment like that doesn't have the guts to post, because they know if they have a spectrum analyzer and they know how to use it, they wouldn't put up a post that says, why do shops have a spectrum analyzer? Do they think they make themselves look smart? Well, my question would be is, do you have a spectrum analyzer? Because you kind of contradict what you're doing if you do. So, reverse psychology, guys, works all the way. Steve, good morning. How are you? Always a pleasure to see you on, no doubt. So, anybody got any other topics they want to talk about besides we discussed about the Baofeng and what the knob was for outside of just its main function, but it's also to take the nut off the antenna jack if you ever have to replace the antenna jack because it got busted, which is why we use a stress relief cable, SMA to SO239 cable. Very important to get these cables. If you plan on using a external antenna to plug in, then utilize this cable to take the stress off of this and let the cable take the stress itself. And they got some pretty good rigid connectors right here with the heat shrink, so they don't bend as much, and they got that stress right here. Then you got the cable to take the stress relief away further. So if anybody has the Baofengs and you want to put an external antenna, you want to sit at a campfire or whatever, picnic, barbecue, or inside your house, but you don't want to just use the antenna because maybe you're a little fuzzy, choppy, or a little noise coming in on your RF line, no problem. No, on your transmission line, no problem. You can just take and put a stress relief cable. Go to Amazon. Start with Google, but go to Amazon. Go to let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to think who else. There's a lot of different companies. I can list a whole bunch of companies, but just go to Google. Type in Google or Amazon. SMA to SO239 cable, and you'll see these ones right here. Now the difference would be whether you got a male or female end for SMA, provided what your unit has. Some Baofengs don't have the same jack. They've got one of each. Yaesus, Kenwoods, Icoms, they use different style of jacks. So if you got a B and C jack, then go B and C to SO239. You can do it that way as well. Good morning, Boskar. How are you? Always a pleasure to see you on, no doubt. So yeah, if you guys are gonna go out using HT and you need something with a little bit more stress relief, then feel free to get one of these cables for that. Any questions from anybody, please ask now. And that brings up another topic I want to bring. Since we're talking about the HTs, I want to show people. Leadfoot, I'm going to pick on you because you seem to have quite the information. He did a great job doing a little research and looked at reviews and this, that, and the other, only to find that these particular radios you don't want to waste your money on. So there's other ones you can buy that will do exactly what you want it to do. Leadfoot and I are trying to figure out a few things along the way, and so here's what I want to show. Let me put these over here. Okay, this is the Kson ZL-35. Now, what exactly is this? Well, this is a ZELLO radio. However, this ZELLO radio is not a good radio. So there are really good ZELLO radios, and this one here is one of them, which are not. So I don't know exactly which model number to buy to correct the situation. What we're running into, Leadfoot was running the same problem as I was, is he found this problem first, and he did some research to find out. If you guys see my battery indicator, see the battery indicator? Pretty low. Okay, so it says right here 35%. I've had this thing on charge all night long. 2 nights ago with the cradle, and after 1 minute put inside the cradle, the green light came on. So, okay, that's strange. So I checked all connectivity, everything was right there. I go to the just direct USB instead of using the cradle, same exact thing. It says charging when you go to plug it in. If you have it turned on, it'll say charging. And so I'm not in the cradle, I don't have it on charge, so it says no charge right now, but when you plug it in, it will say charging. However, the battery level doesn't seem to change much. So it's not holding a charge. It's not the battery. It's something, well, it's part to the battery, yes. I shouldn't say that. It is part to the battery. But there's something else going on with these units. And Leadfoot had done some research on these, only to find that the what you call it, reviews on these radios were not very good, apparently. So does it work good? Absolutely, when it's charged. So that's the problem we run into. Good morning, Jerry. How are you? So the problem that we ran into was charging. He asked me, are you having any charging issues? I said, I don't think so. He ran into a lot of charging issues. So then I checked mine, and it confirmed, yes, I got charging issues too. So he had sent his bag to exchange it, and we're waiting to find out the results if he got a better one or not. Maybe they're just a bad batch. Maybe he's got a good one now. I don't know. I got to check with him and find out for sure what his status is, if he's got any improvement on his end. If not, then I would stay away from these ZL-35s, and I would find a different version of these with better reviews. And that was part of my fault. I should have checked the reviews first, but these are like $50. Or no, I'm sorry, $55. And I was kind of skeptical, like, okay, cheap, right? Well, I guess my gut feeling was right. I should have never bought it, but I got it anyways. And when I tried it out, it was great. It's like, wow, this is nice. I can reach up to 65, 70 feet away from where my router box was, and it was working awesome. Problem is, it doesn't want to hold a charge. So if you're going to buy a ZELLO radio, walkie-talkie, look around and check the reviews and make sure you buy something other than the ZL-35. These ones don't seem to hold charge. They have a huge problem with this specific model. Now, I don't know about the other ones. I haven't done any more research. Leadfoot has been doing some research with some of those, and I'm going to get back into doing some more research because I'd like to have an HT. But if you do want to use the app on your I don't want to use the app on my phone, because one, you're going to use data. I mean, well, not so much data, it's the battery is what you're going to use. Two, when an incoming call appears, it shuts the ZELLO off. Now you're answering your phone call. So I don't want to do that. I want to leave my ZELLO on and just turn it down if I'm busy on the phone. That's what I want to do. So if you do have the app and you don't have a ZELLO radio, then you can move on to a Bluetooth mic speaker. Now this was only like $46 or something on Amazon. These work 100% excellent, and they do hold a charge. So these work excellent. You've got your volume up and down, your PTT, you've got your USB, an external speaker jack, you've got your group, and you've got your SOS. So it will send out in a MIDI tone with that, and you've got your group. You can select whatever group with this. You got to read the instructions, which when you buy, if you were to buy one of these for your phone, the phone app, keep in mind it comes with like a small card in the box, no manual. Okay, so it's got a Q code. You've got to hold your camera over that Q code. You see a little URL of some sort pop up. Click onto it. It'll take you right to the page, the browser, as to the instructions. So read the instructions very carefully, because it's not very user friendly. As soon as you get it set up, which doesn't take much at all, just match it, pair it to your Bluetooth on your phone, and away you go. Hold down the power button a couple seconds, it'll turn on. Hold it down, turn it back off, and it works great. But keep in mind, again, If you're using the app on your phone, this works great. But if you have incoming phone call, then it's going to disable your Zello app and go to the phone until you're done with the phone. When you're done with the phone call and you hang up, it will reconnect back to the Zello app automatically, which is nice. However, again, I love these, and I'm glad I bought this. It was a great investment for the money. It's only $46, guys, not much. It was really worth it.
Can we see the back end of it?
Sure can. So here's your battery tabs. Lead foot stick, can we see the back of it? Absolutely. Here's your belt clip. So, nice unit for sure. I'll put it right here for a moment. I want a walkie-talkie, and the reason why I want the walkie-talkie is because if I am out and about, I can clip it to my waist or wherever and not have to worry about interrupted phone calls. Because again, when the phone call comes in, it switches Zello off, answer the phone when your phone's done, then it goes back to the Zello. During that time frame, you can only listen to one at a time. It has to toggle what to do. This one I can leave on all the time, just turn it down while I'm listening to my phone call, right? So, I want to get a walkie-talkie. I got to find out which one is the better one to get. However, there is one I did share on one of my videos, or one of my posts, or both. I think it was. Yeah, I think it's a link in one of my videos on the Zello radio. However, that one is good for the UHF, which is also for your digital mode of DMR. That one I would like to get. They're like a couple $100, I think. So I'm really interested in buying one of those, and I'm sure it's going to hold battery charge. These cheaper ones, they are not holding a battery charge. So I'm very upset with that. I've only had it for a little over a week. Could I send it back? Yeah, I could get my money back. I'm not going to, because I don't like buying something and then sending it back unless I really have to. To me, I really don't care. I might go out and buy a battery for it and just see if that might fix the problem. I might maybe go inside and see if it's a contact issue. I might try to utilize this. Maybe I can find a problem, what's going on, and then I can post that and share it with KSUN, which is also part of NECQ. They all make the same products. So I might go ahead and do that, troubleshoot this further, and then share whatever information I find if it corrects the problem. And that way, if anybody else has a situation, then instead of sending it back, we might be able to just restore them. I don't know, but that's at a later point in time. So, but get the better versions. The more expensive ones are the better ones that you won't have any problems with. Just these cheaper ones seem to have a problem. They do have a ZL 8668, seems to be pretty good. ZL 30, or no, I'm sorry, what was it? ZL 80, I think it was. That's a good one. So I'm thinking about maybe buying one of those, but I might just buy the one with the DMR, so I got more features than just Zello. You can do a lot more with that as well. So I'm probably going to go that route. It's like 200 something, so that's what I'll probably buy next. And this one here, I'll just put off to the side and play with it at a later time. But the Bluetooth microphone, I love this thing. It works great. And we've already did a video on testing with this as well. I got about 30-35 feet in range before we were kind of hit and miss. Now, keep in mind, you can correct that a little bit more around your yard by doing one thing. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? So what you could do is have an extender. You could put an outdoor extender somewhere and keep it out of the weather. And that will extend you more range. Now you can probably get up to about 50, 60, 70 feet around your property and still use this device. Because mine's indoors and I have a lot of interference inside, for me going outdoors about 30, 35 feet away was not bad at all on a test with this. So that worked out pretty well. So, all right, guys. Anyways, thank you all for watching. And again, like, share, subscribe, and I really thank you for the ones who do all the contributions. I appreciate that. I appreciate all my viewers, my likes, my subscribes, my thumbs up. Everybody keep on doing that. Keep up the good work, and I'll keep up the good work as well, giving you more great videos and more knowledge to share along the way. Good morning, Jim. How are you? Everyone have a great day, and I'll catch you shortly here at the DX Radio Shop. And pretty quick here, we're going to be popping an 88 up for video. We're just working on that right now and trying to figure out all the receiver issues with Michael's radio. So as soon as we get a chance to get that all nipped in the bud, then we'll go live stream with him and put it to a good test again and go from there. Catch you all later here at the DX Radio Shop.